Gemini Ascendant. If you don't know where your ascendant is, you can figure it out through your time and place of birth in the link below. Gemini Ascendant. How creative. Gemini Ascendant has come here to Earth not to be contemplative, but though they aren't very thinky, they can be quite sickly. They're constantly looking for affirmation, and their energy is strong enough to get anybody's attention. But what they're trying to get from this world experience is too much. And that want creates in them a funny bunching inside. For they're nervous, and this nervous tension makes them collide with anything and nothing. For this Gemini Ascendant is creating in its life something that's full of shit. Something that's not very good for it. A life that is purely for show is something that a Gemini Ascendant will know. A life that is very creative and funny. And often this one is right on the money with fashion and finance and anything good. But yet there is a peaceful reminder in his or her neighborhood that he or she is not really wanted. And something inside them will be taunted, but yet the other side is always happy. A very pleased and joyous chappy, looking at each of us as if a little drama, a little cardboard cutout for its karma. We're all just 2D beings for a Gemini Ascendant, who's also in their perception of themselves not independent from that scheme. To us, a 2D feeling, they do gleam. In any situation they will find themselves, they're always surrounded by great beauty, pleasure, and life. Everything bubbles, everything crumbles. For Ascendant in Gemini, everything will be in rubble if they don't stop and listen to others. Their futuristic knowing of themselves and the world leaves them thoughtless, for they just know. They know what will happen in fashion and politics. They have a really good perception of reality already, though something in them is not very steady to accept everything that they've come to see. For this Ascendant in Gemini is just for you and me, a funny, playful being who is sick of it all already. And so in this boredom, there's something a little bit unsteady. They're not ready for the knowledge that they've received in past lives. And so they create this lifetime here that is laced in a funny lie. And it is very seemingly white and easy. For this white lie here is the breezy feeling of creation without pressure, an easy life for a person without satisfaction. Their life is too easy to be satisfying. So something in this person is always crying. There is a side to this person that we do not see, but they know it very well, just like you and me. There is a side to them that they don't want to admit. Is a little bit feeling, perhaps in a fit. They will go crazy and see that emit. Suddenly all this desire for play has invited a feeling of wanting everything to go away. They'll collapse any story that they have created. For Ascendant in Gemini is enough recreated. They want to be pulverized into something that's deep, something that's here to forever keep. They've got all this knowledge and all information, but inside them there is something that's needing of masturbation. I'm serious here, this is really hilarious. But Gemini just needs to release in a safe way the emotional, strenuous, energetic pollution, which is all just in their own confusion of their gender and their place in this universe, really. And so sexual experience is what brings them the ability to be free for a while. So this person must cultivate themselves a life where they must radiate out and explode everything that they hold so deep in their heart. And that something deep is that beingness from the start that has known, that is here to experience beauty and glow and be a little bit hilarious. But yet there is something that's yet unsatisfying. And that part of them is the part that's always crying. And that just needs to be released through any kind of turmoil. And their life may not persist enough with that kind of experience gift of pressure and pain. So they must create it for themselves again. They must create a situation where their husband may leave them. They must have a situation where their mum won't forgive them, or any kind of long-time trauma that can be very well alleviated from their karma if they just laugh themselves silly or create themselves an orgasm that's intensely amazing, or do a very strange thing that seems to other people crazy, but they need to act out and they need to pass through all the drama and torture to which they are new, because they've come into a world that is full of such density, and yet their spirit in positivity has so much intensity that it cannot fathom the world in which they're living. And so to be deeply ingrained in the situation, their karma has to be forgiving. They have to alleviate everything that they have come to be experiencing, as we're all one thing. Nothing is exclusive here. So everybody gets to experience a little bit of pain, even if in the past lives you've been so good and in this life you've deserved a lot of gain. You have to experience some great miracle that's only caused by what seems to be cynical. And that is true love, my friend. And it's hard to find. For a lot of Geminis keep all their emotions inside. Gemini Ascendant here is looking for something fun, but yet inside there is a part that wants to be as one. Back to oneness, back to futuristic knowingness of everything. And so they'll find themselves many a partner who's not really for them, until one day a miracle will be, and they will have to see that future is created for their family. They can be still at home, they can have something pure. They have this pure thing which makes them somehow very demure. This Gemini Ascendant transforms in later life as they do create a little nest with somebody without strife. They don't see them as cardboard cutout most of the time. And this person does create in them a feeling that time itself is feeling that everything around them and inside them and throughout them is filled to the brim with something astounding. And that's love. They radiate more love than anything on earth, for the Gemini Ascendant learns through this awkward rebirth that everything is here as a great big loving snuggle. And though it may not suit them well at first, but they will find their double. Yes, they will find somebody who's right and perfect, for the Gemini Ascendant is here to be nurtured. And then with time, this person will come to our attention as somebody who's not just free and happy, somebody who's full of ancient imagination, somebody who's both present, past, and future. And so eventually this person will become the greatest feature of any dinner table, any party. For what they've brought to us all is something very hearty and something that their words cannot really explain, but at the same time everybody will ordain all that they've become, and very timely. For this Gemini Ascendant is the time of life with which you'll see a great big turning of reality for everyone involved. When you see this person mellow, it's a side that's to behold. They bring to everyone togetherness and feeling. A great big family of light will be revealing as the Gemini Ascendant feels their way through what seems very meaningless indeed. And that's a life of looking for that love, but without greed.